of great peril and fear, where prices go up and the digital replaces the tangible. Who will the masses turn to? England and Sweden in the greatest crossover event ever. Starring Jack and Nick!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Crossover on own3d.tv/NordicelRadio at nordicelradio.com. I am one of your hosts, Blondie, and over there you can find my co-host, Jack.
Hello! You may also know me
Nick.
as the Behatted Burke.
And you have no beard.
I know.
Last time I saw you, you had a beard.
And that was on Sunday.
Yeah, that wasn't very long ago.
I know.
I want to start the show by apologizing if there's any background noise. That would be because it's stuff happening outside my house, and I have my balcony door open. Now, I refuse to close my balcony door because I like to stay solid and not melt. Because it's really hot in here. Especially with all these lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can do this to make it even more overkill.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know.
Why?
It's not so bad. Could be worse. Could be in the Saharas.
Yeah. That's the one you go straight for, really. When it comes to worse situations, you know, underneath the surface of the sun really would be worse as well.
Mm-hmm.
Many other places would be worse. And yet he's, for some reason, go for the Sahara.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Indeed. So, in this show, we have a lot of stuff to talk about, but mostly we're going to be talking about our experiences at Kapow Comic Con.
Yes.
We spent the weekend there, and it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I got to meet Jack, got to meet Losa.
Yes, the studio audience, as she is otherwise known, is unusually absent.
Mm-hmm. I also got to meet some other cool people, and Jack got to take pictures with them.
Yep.
I didn't. No explainable reason, I just didn't.
I think your reason was CBA.
Yeah, I kind of want... because the lines were really long to get stuff signed, and I kind of really wanted to get out of the way so that other people can get in line. The same reason why I only had one thing for them to sign. Like, most of the queues you could have 3 things. I chose to only have 1 because I didn't want to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. There were a few people who decided to take their entire back catalogue of everything by that writer or artist to have signed, which kind of suggests they're a bit of a sadist, really. Yes, you sign all them, while everybody else must wait.
Yeah, I saw people walking around the con with, like, stroller bags. And I was like, yeah, okay, so they just got here, maybe they're from out of town, they want to bring stuff with them back. No, they had stroller bags with comics in them that they brought from home. Like, hundreds of comics.
Right, listen very carefully for this, because I will only do it once. Ow, my nose!
Yeah.
Ow.
If you're ever going to a convention of any sort where you are expecting to get something signed, don't be a dick.
Yes, follow Wheaton's law, nerds. Do not be a dick.
Sounds
Words
good.
to live by.
Words to live by. Like, don't be a dick. It's probably the best thing. So, we also hopefully will talk about some news. Very limited, because I imagine that a lot of our talk today, probably at least an hour, will go towards talking about our experiences as at Kapow Comic Con, as I think was your first convention ever.
Yes, it was.
And it was my third. It was my first comic convention, so yeah. Been at 2 gaming conventions before, but one sucked and the other was awesome. But I've never been as a regular human, only been the glorified press.
Fair enough.
So, we also hopefully will be reviewing some stuff in the back catalog. I want to talk about some cartoons that I've been watching this week because... Well, let's start the Kapow Con talk before I even got to London. Yeah. So, Friday afternoon, I went to exchange some money so that I could get my pound sterling ready to go to England and ravage and pillage and be very polite about it. And
yeah. And by the Swedes, they're not quite as violent as the Viking past would make you think.
No. And I simply... Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but somehow I had about £160 left overall. And in hindsight, I figured that I figured out that it was because the hotel that I was staying at charged me twice. I don't know if you remember when I checked in, but the guy asked me, "Have you cancelled your booking?" It's like, no, I haven't. I booked a room. You pulled money from my card. Give me a room, please. And basically, what happened was that they charged me twice. They cancelled one of them, but the charge didn't get back to me until Monday. Which, you know, if you're gonna be in London, you're probably gonna want more than £160, considering I needed to also get train tickets to the airport and train tickets from the airport.
Yeah,
also
kind of
food.
Essential.
So I got to buy like one thing at Kapow. And then I had no money on Monday when I was traveling home. Like literally no money at all.
Jesus.
Fortunately,
sucks bollocks.
Yeah, fortunately I managed to use my card in Denmark, buy myself some water. Yeah.
That kind of softens the blow, at least.
But because of that, I didn't pick up any comics this week because I thought I had no money. So, yeah, I'm gonna be reviewing the if we have time, I'm going to be reviewing the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon that has been, I think it's 7 or 8 episodes that has been released so far. And we'll see what I think about that. Also, Young Justice started its 2nd season. So now it pulled the Torchwood and now goes under the title of Young Justice Invasion. But it's supposedly still a full season. I'll get more into what that is later. It's pretty cool. Young Justice is still good. Probably better than ever, actually.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, I'll be reviewing actual comic books. Huzzah for getting paid this week. Not to rub it in.
Of course, not to rub it in, you dick.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, let's fast forward to our experiences of Saturday, Got up in the morning. No breakfast because I have no reason. Breakfast, dude. Anyway, we went to Kapow at about, I think we left the hotel at about 8:50. Around 9.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah, I think the convention opened at 9.
Mhm.
Now, I didn't get there at the same time as you guys because I forgot my ticket.
You arrived originally at the same time and then had to scooter on back to the hotel.
Yeah, wasn't the best thing I've ever done, but you know,
Not really, no.
it was okay. It wasn't very far, so
Yeah.
I could handle it. But the line for Kapow on the first day, was it long?
It was pretty long.
Like longer than the
Compared
second
with
day?
compared with the second day, it was... Well, we were in the queue at around about... You know that... the pub on the street on the way to Cyber Candy?
Yeah.
We were waiting outside there for quite a while.
Alright, so it was probably a bit over 100 meters long, the queue then.
Something like that, yeah.
Since it went like a snake.
Mhm.
It was probably about 200-meter queue. Fortunately, they had a really good admission time, because when I got there like 10-15 minutes later, it was like 20 meters of queue. Not very long.
It was pretty good in that respect.
Yeah. And yeah, as you can see, I think over there is a picture of the convention hall, the first panel of this show. And the London Business Design Centre isn't really made for a convention, is it?
No, not really. It's full of offices for all these different companies, really.
Yeah.
Hence why it's a business centre, funnily enough. But yeah, there is a fairly large open space inside there. Not as large as most of the convention centres halls, I would guess, but it's big enough to hold a fair few people. Not too much, you know.
Yeah. It wasn't a small convention, but I mean, it wasn't huge.
I mean, I know that the NCM Expo is going on this weekend, and I'm sure they have a far bigger convention hall. But yeah, I much prefer this one in terms of actual content to what the NCM one would be. I mean, sure, the convention centre is smaller there.
Yeah.
Well, what do you expect, really? It's the second year they've been doing it.
Indeed.
It's something to get a bigger one next time, but of course I'd have to get more people in.
Like, I really like how the business center is like, you get in there, and then you have to go up the stairs to get to the show floor. Now,
yeah,
if it wasn't actually offices on the floor below, but like space to have more booths, that would have been amazing.
I know, it would have been so cool.
It would have been like the first two-tiered convention ever.
Yeah.
But of course, I don't think people want you to muck about in their offices.
Not really, no.
No.
But there's important papers and files. And, you know, precious laptops and computers to steal.
Indeed.
It would be a nice thing to take away, though. Free computers.
Come there, leave with a computer. Probably a really bad computer, to be honest, or a Mac.
It's free, you can't complain.
No, could probably sell it for about 50 quid.
Compared with, you know, what did you get for the convention? I got a badge. What do you get? Oh, I got a Dell Inspiron. Probably about the same worth as the badge, but, you know.
Yeah, and yeah, there were a lot of booths there. I mean, there were some really memorable ones. I mean, you had Cyber Candy, who specializes in really cool, interesting candy, like this bacon lollipop that I'm going to be trying later.
Yes, they also had so many energy drinks.
Yes.
Such as, for example, Romulan Ale, which I have been surviving on for the last week.
Romeo and Ale.
Yes, it's not for filthy Klingon pitach.
You're such a nerd. Nerd!
I know, how do I know that? That's a washing thing. And something I'll be trying later on in order to regrow my lost facial hair, mustache elixir.
Well,
because why not?
Yeah, I'm gonna be trying this later in the show in an attempt to get Cyber Candy to sponsor us. And I think you're gonna be trying the mustache elixir?
Yep.
Cool.
Hopefully somewhere near as good as the Robin Ale.
What is that you're holding right now?
It's the mustache elixir.
Cool. Mustache elixir. Yeah, it was really cool actually. Like they had normal stuff like Lucky Charms and Twinkies. I don't know how common Twinkies are in England.
I've never seen them, so
Okay.
no.
Yeah, they like the stuff was expensive. Like an energy drink was like £2.
To be fair, it's probably about the same price as a Red Bull. So
But Red Bulls are expensive. Like,
yeah,
I compare it to the shit that you drink on a normal show.
the 59 pence sort of stuff, which tastes of actual gasoline.
Yeah, exactly. Really,
For example,
really.
for example, 59 pence for this Evolve. Probably tastes of urine. And with a can this dented, I don't exactly trust it.
But yeah, but obviously fun stuff comes with a price, and like it wasn't like, oh, this is Coca-Cola with a new label on it. It was like proper unique drinks.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Ether Cola, which it's sort of just basically clear Coca-Cola,
Yeah,
essentially.
it was
But
like a normal cola but clear, which was really cool.
yeah,
It was-
I may have bought a stash and got a free poster. So for that reason alone, I love them.
Yeah. And like they had Lucky Charms and Twinkies, and they had a zombie survival can drink, which I tried, which was horrid. Oh, I suggest you don't drink that because it wasn't very good.
I just love the side of the can with the the possible uses for it in case of a zombie outbreak.
Oh. Yeah. And I just it was great. I can't really remember other stuff that they had.
There were a few webcomics.
Oh, I meant Game of Food.
Putting their wares out. For example, I think it's Apocalyptically Romantic or something like that, or Romantic.
They had a really cool like cloth banner thing. That was the
which you wanted.
I wanted, but I had no money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll have to see if I can get.
I don't even know if it's for sale as well.
No.
Yeah.
Should have gone.
There was.
I want.
What was the other one? It's one that we've mentioned as a featured webcomic.
Scandinavia and the World was there.
Yes, that's the one. Right, plunked right beside them.
Yeah, I was kind of. I'm a shy person.
I got you a fridge magnet.
Yeah, you got my fridge magnet. The problem is that my fridge is covered in wood, so I can't actually use it.
Shit.
I think I'm gonna put it on my like. Let's see if you can. No, it's too white. My stove is in brushed aluminum, whatever. Aluminium, whatever.
Not American here.
Actually, brushed steel is it? Not aluminium, and I'll see if the fridge magnet can stick to that. Otherwise, I'll probably. Actually, my microwave might work. But yeah, I'm a shy person, so I was afraid to ask. But I think the author was there. Also, there was a guy that was dressed as Sweden, which that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
He looked like Sweden. With the glasses and
also,
the
also
part
caught
hair.
up with what's his name? The guy from Weeble Stuff. Funny enough, called.
Oh
Weeble.
yeah.
Yeah, I ordered
Mr.
probably one of the first University of Magic hoodies from them. It's going to be
Yeah.
coming tomorrow, and
Let's see.
I'll be whoring it out.
Where did I put it? Oh, I got a lot of promotional stuff. There was like, right there next to it, there was a company that specialized in licensed Judge Dredd merchandise.
Oh,
Like-
yes, I saw them.
Like proper Judge Dredd costumes fitted to size, and like helmets and badges and key rings and stuff. It was really cool. Let's see.
Mm.
Was a lot of independent comics and British comics, obviously, that were there. A new comic called Mr. Who.
Yes, I would just like to. Yes, I was about to pimp them out. They've actually followed me on Twitter long before the convention, and it looks like it could be really, really cool. I've yet to read it, but the idea behind it seems interesting.
Alright. Then there was the comic Shakespeare Must Die. Was that the name? I can't...
Kill Shakespeare.
Kill Shakespeare. There
Kill
we go.
Shakespeare.
Yeah. Which were characters from Shakespeare break the wall between them. Like, I got to talk to the author, or whatever artist, for like 5 minutes, and he explained the whole concept about it. And basically, I think it's Hamlet breaks the wall between his world and the other Shakespeare worlds.
Mhm.
And he goes on a quest to kill Shakespeare, and he meets people like Juliet and other people, and they, some help him, others try to stop him because Shakespeare is God in their world, so so Hamlet should be praising him, not killing him. And it's really impressive. I got a QR code for the first number, and I haven't checked it out yet, but I definitely will. Kill Shakespeare. Like, it's worth buying the first issue simply based on the fact that it's a fact of its premise.
Yeah, that's enough right there.
Mm-hmm.
The great thing about indie comics, it gets such really weird yet fantastic ideas.
Indeed.
They wouldn't get mainstream.
No. Well, Dial H.
Okay, apart from that,
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of booths that were just regular, these are collectible comics, or these are back issues of current comics, which, you know, it was okay. I managed to find some back issues of stuff that I haven't read before. And I think you picked up some Batman comics to sign.
yeah, one or two.
Yeah. It's just... yeah, it was great. Those were probably... some of those had amazing display. Like, they had this big wall with, like, the pricier comics, like, put on the wall on display. And
Yeah,
then...
you know, your Spider-Man #1s and your
yeah.
original Avengers and so on.
Yeah, like really cool stuff, and things that were like, instead of being £2.20, they were £5 and above. I think I saw one that was like, this is £330. It's like, holy shit, what is that? But yeah, and some were just boxes, like you would find in any comic book store.
Yeah.
I really liked... I really liked Image's booth.
Oh yeah.
It was extremely simple, but it was graceful. Like, they had the booth with the like, it was like a cube, like a cubicle, with like the fake roof and everything. And then they had just graphic novels laid up in piles, and it just looked brilliant. I think Marvel did similar thing with their hardcovers and stuff. Yeah,
the thing is though, the guests from Image who are at the con were actually there helping to vlog the comics, so it was an extra incentive to buy their cubicle.
Yeah, I really like that. Anything you just off the show floor?
Off the show floor, I liked some of the weirder sort of booths they had going. Like, for example, well, we also Losa enjoying that jewellery one. She's essentially picking up a 5-course meal in rings. So a teacup, donuts, everything, really.
Yeah. Basically a little booth that sold specialty jewellery. First one she bought was a teacup on a ring. A small teacup.
Yep. There was also a few other weird ones, like there was a steampunk review booth going on. I think they do a magazine, because that's what I saw stacked up.
Yeah.
But I just wandered past and thinking, what on earth are they vlogging? And where can I get it? I demand it.
One of the booths that I saw that was kind of cool, I didn't stop by it very long because I understood what it was, but it was metalworking-ish. Like they had journals where they...
Oh, yeah, they were leatherworking the journals, just, you know,
with
inscribing designer.
With bronze covers, or whatever. It was bronze or copper plated covers, and you could buy, like, it was like 30 quid, and you could buy just bronze covered journals and stuff, which was really cool.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
Also what's going on.
Fantastic. Was there anything else worth mentioning on the show floor?
I think that's about it for the show floor, really.
Yeah. I think there was a booth that sold really cool belts, but half of them weren't even pop culture related. It was like, this is a gun on a belt. It was like, oh, yeah. And then there were the Superman and Batman stuff.
Yeah. There was one or two caricature artists on the show floor, but didn't really see any of their work, so I can't really comment.
You saw posters and stuff, and it was kind of...
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna take a break, and when we come back we're gonna discuss the other stuff that were at Kapow. So keep right here. You're listening to Crossover live on Nordic Radio at nordicradio.com and own3d.tv/NordicRadio. We'll be right back. And we're back on Crossover live on Nordic Radio at nordicradio.com, as well as own3d.tv/NordicRadio. Yeah! So, before the break we were talking about the show floor, and I think we spent a lot of time talking about one specific booth, which was the Cyber Candy booth. You can find them at cybercandy.co.uk. And yeah, so Jack has already opened and tasted the mustache elixir, and I want you to tell me, what does it taste like?
It tastes of non-alcoholic cider, really.
Non-alcoholic cider. That's kind of good, actually. Cider is nice.
Yeah, I know. I was absolutely amazed at that.
What flavor? Like apple, pear? Apple cider. That's actually really nice.
I know.
I'm sad I didn't
I'm getting from now on.
Mustache elixir.
Only available from the Cybercan that I know of.
Oh, I picked up this bacon lollipop. I want to read the background on this because this makes no sense to me. Nutrition facts. Serving size, 1 sucker, 80 gram. Servings per container, I guess this is one. Or is since it's on the wrapper, it's probably what's inside the wrapper. Servings per container, 12. What?
There's a demented kind of sense to that. Yeah, just on the way demented.
It doesn't weigh more than 80 grams, so I'm not sure what's going on with this. It has no fat, no sodium, no protein, and 80 grams of carbs. No vitamins, no calcium, no iron, nothing. Sugar, corn syrup, water, maltodextrin, artificial bacon flavor, and a lot of stuff.
No. Official bacon.
Yeah, very obviously. There's no protein there.
They use real stuff. God damn it.
It doesn't really smell anything.
That's very wary of you.
I'm not sure if I like it.
I need to keep going back for more.
I need to figure out if it tastes good or not, because it kind of tastes like nothing.
You should know immediately. First we touch your tongue whether or not it tastes good or not.
But I mean, have you tasted rock? Like seaside rock or whatever?
Yeah.
Not like
Yeah.
the actual mineral or whatever. Like I'm talking the candy rock. Or if you're Swedish,
Yes,
you know about.
I am known for chewing on granite, but I'm also known for eating seaside rock.
Yeah. If
You're
you're
a
from
coastal
Sweden,
town, I've also tried rock.
if you're from Sweden, you would know this by polka. That's what we call it.
Polka.
Polka pigs, actually.
Oh.
Polka pig. It kind of tastes like the white part of that.
Oh, fair enough.
So the white part tastes like rock or polka, but the red part kind of tastes like nothing. I'm going to bite off of it now. Oh.
It's a void of flavour. You don't regret that at all, do you?
Not at all. It's great.
That's it's bacon lollipops available at cybercandy.co.uk.
I'm gonna put this down now.
You probably should. It's for the best. Anyway, back to the Kapow stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, there were a lot of other things going on at Kapow. Stop laughing at me.
I can't help it.
Okay, that wasn't very good. I'm sorry, Cyber Candy, but
Okay.
your bacon flavored lollipops aren't very good.
There's other stuff available there, so if you just go away from the bacon lollipops, it's all.
To be fair, what do you
They're holding
expect
them out, so
with a artificially flavored bacon lollipop? Like you don't buy it for the taste. You buy it for the novelty of eating a bacon flavored lollipop. Kind of tastes like bacon, to be honest. Like, not like really nice and soft bacon that you just fried in your frying pan. You know, like when you fry really crispy bacon.
which is how it's supposed to be done.
No, I'm talking like really, so that when you take it and if you hold it too hard, it just crumbles to dust. Like I'm not talking like
Right. So overdone.
yeah, pretty much. It tastes a bit like overdone bacon.
It's fair enough.
It's okay.
Yeah.
There
Anyway,
were other stuff going
now
on
we've
at Kapow.
done pimping out cyber candy.
And there were other stuff going on at Kapow Con.
Yeah.
For example, there were the Artists Alley, where they had
Yes.
a bunch of artists sitting and drawing stuff, and some of them commissioned stuff, others sold prints and original drawings, like that one, which is kind of reflecting in the light, but it's Batman. Tell us, what is it?
It is basically a do-it-yourself Batman, essentially. Lots of belts. For some reason, golf boots.
Yeah. Do you remember who made that?
I cannot remember. I'm really sorry to whoever drew that. I cannot remember you.
Yeah, so that was a print.
Sorry.
There were also artists doing commissions, and I know for a fact that you commissioned a piece of art. So what are you showing us right now?
This is a steampunk Iron Man. See, he even has the thing in his chest.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see through the plastic, to be honest.
Okay, damn it. There we go.
It's a little bit better. And yeah, so it's a steampunk Iron Man. And that's stuff
I can tell you who did this, weirdly. Well, I can give you the link to their art site. If you go, and hang on a minute, I'll just fetch the details down for me.
Oh my god, he's running away! He's running and getting the thing. But yeah.
This is Michael Lee Graham. You can find his art at www.mleeg-art.co.uk. Some pretty good stuff there.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of other artists also commissioning, and it's cool. It's only the sort of stuff that you can get when you actually go to the conventions.
Yeah, pretty damn good stuff.
So yeah, there was that. There was also if you're an artist, there were a portfolio review area. Where you could talk to people that could review your portfolio, say if it's good or bad, or not as much the art, but more of the is this how a portfolio should look? Yeah.
I'm trying to look up the name of the guy. I spotted there who's doing it. I believe B. Kabulski. He was in charge of all that. He's the main guy who takes on submissions. So it's C.B. Cebulski or Kebulski, whichever way.
Oh, it's the Marvel guy. No, wait.
He's the Marvel guy.
Yeah, the Marvel guy. He was there. There was also a bunch of other people there. They sort of rotated. And yeah, that was interesting to see a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else were there? There were the signings.
There was the... Yes.
Signings.
A few pictures from that.
Both artists and writers. Of course, Mark Miller was there. We had Sarah Pichelli. Who else did we have?
There was also Scott Snyder, who had the longest queue over the 2 days.
Yep.
I have no idea how big his queue was.
His queue was actually so long that they had to cut it down from 3 items to 1 item just so that they would be able to get through everyone.
Yeah.
I got in queue 30 minutes before it started. Like, I got my stuff signed by Sarah Pichelli. I was like 10th or whatever. Probably not in queue. I was pretty far ahead in the queue of the Sarah Pichelli line. And then I went straight to Scott Snyder. Sat down, and the guy, one of the Kapow guys, gave me a sign that said, "This is the last of the queue."
Yeah.
Which was pretty lucky.
Pretty damn lucky. I managed to jump in the queue about 2 minutes before you got seen to.
Yeah, because I originally wanted to sign 2 things, one for me and one for Jack. And basically, they said you can only sign one. So about 2 minutes before I was there, I said, Jack, I called him up and said, dude, get here now. Like, you need to get here now. I can only get one thing signed. And
I can tell. No, I have never run as fast in my life. The sight of an idiot in this hat bolting towards the queue must have been a fantastic one for everyone. What adds a little bit of awesome story, though, and hilarity.
yeah.
The second I got seen, I think it was just before you, wasn't it? Or was it just
Yeah,
after?
you were before me in queue.
Right. So, let me take this place. I get signed.
You kind of
I'll
lagged
get
in
a
there.
picture taken with him, shake his hand and everything. He says, I really appreciate you. He said, get a picture taken with him, shake it and everything. He says, I really appreciate you waiting so long in the queue.
2 minutes, you
I
bastard.
cackled so loud.
You bastard. And he said nothing to me. So thanks for coming out. Probably because I sort of hurried away from there because I didn't want to. Like, I can stand waiting lines, like, but I don't want to keep others waiting more than necessary. So I got my stuff signed and then I just left immediately. While others would like talk to the artists and get tips and stuff.
You know why? You're a Swede, that's why.
Yeah. Socially awkward Swede.
Yep.
Yeah.
Apart from that, there's also Jonathan Ross and Brian Hitch.
Yeah, they signed together.
Yep.
You got to.
Quite awesome guys.
You got to meet them. And yeah, let's see. I don't have the pictures lined up actually. By the way, Scott Snyder and Jack, you can see over there. It's the second panel of the night. Yeah. Very, very important.
Well, you can't see gains from me from running. Don't know why I just announced that.
Yeah. In a pink shirt.
It's lightish red, and that joke has been done so many times.
It's pink. But yeah, you also stood in line for we stood in line for Jonathan Ross and Brian Hitch. I thought that line was gonna be bigger because Jonathan Ross, is kind of a big deal in the UK.
Yeah.
But apparently people were more
It
interested
did stretch a lot longer after we
Yeah, but
got. But I think there was a panel at the same time once.
alright. Well, I'm pretty sure there was a panel when Scott Snyder was signing. We got in line 30 minutes before I had and got like place 10 or whatever in line. Was nothing like Scott Snyder's queue at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, you also stood in line for did you get in line for Mark Miller?
Yes, I did. He's a very nice guy, actually. We were originally just after the this is the end of the queue thing. Then they shifted it further down to just behind us, and because there was still such a long queue, everyone's still waiting. He just got up from his little booth thing, started walking down, signing everything, making sure that everyone got everything signed.
That's
That
nice.
was quite awesome of him to do.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it's his
picture of the
convention,
weekend with
so
him.
he really wants everyone to be happy, and he seems like a really nice guy. He's a crazy Scot, but he seems like a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I had imported the video from the costume contest. I might do that in the next break and just see if we can play the whole 10-minute thing, because that was pretty amazing costume contest. But we'll do that later. if possible. And let's see, I think we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, more Kapow, and hopefully we'll get time, because we have a few trailers we want to show. I know that one of our listeners, Louis-chan, is really excited about Dark Knight Rises, as are we. And as such, we are going to show 2 trailers, because they released 2 trailers for Dark Knight Rises, as well as some still pictures and some stuff for Dark Knight Returns, the cartoon that you can see down there. And I also want to do reviews and webcomic spotlight, so we might pull over, but if we do, I'm going, so we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, stuff. And we're back with Crossover live on Nordic Radio at nordicradio.com, as well as own3d.tv/NordicRadio. How are you doing?
Hopefully not as laggy.
Unfortunately, that's a lie. Okay, so let's see, what else did we do at Kapow? We went to a couple of panels. Okay, he's not going to talk.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Namely, the... Okay.
Go right ahead.
Oh, right, you're powering me. I was in video figure. First one we went to was the writers panel. Well, right, I say writers panel actually wasn't the writers panel. It was breaking into comics the Marvel way, which I would have thought was, okay, send us a submit. You can't use any of our characters, but if you write anything, well, then we're going to say no to it, because we don't roll that way. Breaking into comics the Marvel way is actually get big first, and then they'll headhunt you and force you to write their version of events.
Yeah, I felt like artists could break in another way. Like they had the option of actually sending their portfolios or giving their portfolios to people at Marvel, and no big deal. Like if you draw something, you draw something. But writers were really cock-blocked when it comes to breaking into comics overall.
Yeah. The message they send is, okay, if you want to be a writer, get big first, then talk to us. And I'm sat there thinking, I'm trying to write, how the do I get big to begin with? Tell me how to actually break into comics, not just how to break into Marvel.
Yeah, I felt that was a problem, and they talked a lot about like, oh, this is how we broke into comics, and it was like Sarah Pichello was there. She's a lovely lady, but she's Italian, which means that she doesn't have the best English to her. But basically she was an animator that started drawing comics because on the off chance that she actually had like a boyfriend or whatever that knew someone at Marvel. Like, that is the most ridiculous way to get into comics. And then you had like Joe Quesada, who like it took him 3 years from working in a lighting shop to working at Marvel or whatever, or DC. And I think it was DC, yeah. And like, all of that was just on the off that he met someone that was working for another comic company, like, and Oh, I can't remember. They also talked a little bit how a very special writer got into Marvel. And,
Yeah.
it was Brian Michael Bendis, and basically what he did was that he wrote all his stuff, he drew it, and then he tried to get people to buy it by driving around in his car and just telling people in local comic book stores to, hey, this is my series, it's cool, do you want to buy it? And yeah, and apparently his art was shit.
Yeah, his art was absolutely abysmal, but his writing was fucking gripping.
Yeah, and it is, like, his writing is top notch, it really is. I'm just, yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. So basically it seems like the only way for a writer to get into comics is to either do really shit art but awesome writing, or pester an artist to create their story so that they can sell it to Image or whatever.
Sad Image you'll get in webcomics. Speaking of which, any artists out there, I have some shit prepared. If you would be willing to work for Bugger All at the moment, drawing it, with hopefully many benefits to come.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at pitching, but there we go.
Any artists want to make it big, just contact us. You have you have his Twitter down there, and you just
just pester me by saying, "Hey, twat hat." I don't know.
twat hat.
Just say twat hat, and then I'll know who you are or what you're in reference to. Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a very good panel. Like, it was entertaining to listen to, but it wasn't very good for its purpose, in my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't informative. It was entertaining though.
Mm-hmm.
Another panel that we got to see was the Miller World one.
Yes.
Just giving us the heads up on everything that Mark Miller has written that's coming out soon. For example, Hit Girl, the sequel to Kick-Ass 2. Well, kind of sequel / kind of a bit in between.
It was a sequel to Kick-Ass, but takes place before Kick-Ass
Right.
2.
That's the
And
one.
comes out after Kick-Ass 2. So it's
Yeah.
sort of a prequel.
Ish.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
He also talked a little bit about Jupiter's Children.
Which I think could be quite cool. Frank Quietly's art is always a good thing.
Yeah. He talked a little about Super Crooks and how it was,
Yeah.
and Secret Service and how it was to write for something in England as compared to writing all the stuff in America. You know, he's a Scot.
Yeah.
The Miller.
Yeah. And in the case of Super Crooks, how it's going to be adapted into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
The upcoming director for that, Nacho, whatever his name is.
I want to say that
It's
his
not just
name
me being racist there, goddammit.
No.
It's his actual name. Like Nacho Vigalondo or something like that.
I only have Nacho Grande in my head.
Nacho Libre.
Yeah, the problem is I'm not entirely unsure that his name wasn't Nacho Grande.
I don't think it was Nacho Grande. I think that is something you read on the menu of a Taco Bell or something like that.
Yeah, his name was probably Nacho Vigalondo. Looks like him. From Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nacho Vigalondo.
From the Spain, yes.
From the Spain, yes. He's the one that is...
It's right first time.
Mm-hmm. Nacho Vigalondo, who is making Super Crooks into a movie.
Yeah.
Looks good.
And it looks like they're going to try and get a fair few people involved in that. They were saying who their dream cast would be,
Oh yeah.
but didn't specify for certain. They're not going to be actually getting them.
I seem to remember something about Shia LaBeouf.
I think that was the joke one. They were saying, what's his face from The Hangover in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So they wanted someone from The Hangover. I can't remember. The guy from The Hangover. Great. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they weren't really specific themselves, were they? They were just saying, okay, just so when you see the names, it can't be tagged on us. So people can't just put it on the news site saying, oh, they're totally going to get this guy.
They were just talking about people they like, the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And not the Sega.
If Mark Strong is not on that list, then I'll be surprised.
We topped off that evening, and I think that was the last of the panels that we actually saw, that we had time to see, with the Stan Lee Awards.
Yes.
And yeah, so let's go through this and then discuss what we thought about it.
Yes.
So we had the category of Best Writer with the nominees of Mark Waid, Grant Morrison, Mark Miller, and Scott Snyder. And the winner was...
Are you waiting for me there?
Yeah.
Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder, who definitely deserves it after his work on Batman. And
yeah, and his run of Detective Comics and pretty much everything else he's done.
Next category was
Best Artist. The nominations for that were J.H. Williams III, which is a fantastic name.
He had a
Greg
fantastic beard.
Capullo, fantastic beard as well. He looks like he is from the TV series Oz, one of the skinheads from that. So,
Yeah.
so Greg Capullo, Jock, and Sarah Shelley.
And the winner? Still
The
waiting.
winner was, funny enough, Sarah Pacelli.
Yeah, who is known for her work most recently on Ultimate Spider-Man, which is brilliant work. I definitely saw her winning. Let's see, we also have the Best Series, where the nominations were Daredevil, Uncanny X-Force, Detective Comics, and Lock and Key. Note that this is all in 2011.
Yes, this is not the stuff that's currently ongoing.
Well, it can be, but it doesn't. This year doesn't count.
Yeah.
And this was the best ongoing series, and the winner for that was Detective Comics.
Yes, this is why we're emphasising those last years, because, well, first of all, during that year you had the fantastic Scott Snyder story with James Gordon Jr., which was the creepiest thing I have ever read in a comic book, and makes me worry for Scott Snyder. Really. How could such a nice guy put out something like that?
Yeah.
And then the first story arc from the reboot, which was, I think, still is one of the strongest Batman stories they've done since the reboot. I mean, until, of course, they got the Night of the Owls and the lead up to that.
Yeah, Batman has been pretty good since Night of the Owl stuff. Like.
Since he went insane in the Labyrinth.
Yeah, Batman number 5 was brilliant. I have it signed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next thing.
Next thing was Best Superhero or Sci-Fi Movie. The nominations were Captain America, The First Avenger, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Thor, and X-Men First Class. I'm going to say this one was a no-brainer, really.
Honestly, when we were discussing this beforehand, I said that it stood between Captain America First Avenger and X-Men First Class. I think, honestly, that Captain America had better writing, but I think it's kind of controversial to have it win.
I think that with the writing Captain America, they had to tone down the patriotism so much to make it for the international audience. But as fantastic as the writing was there, it wouldn't really be controversial too much because it's a comic book guy. If that won, I don't think too many people would have been surprised if they hadn't been for X-Men First Class, because that was A, really well written, especially for the two main characters, and B, fantastically acted by the two main characters.
Yeah, the problem with X-Men First Class for me was that the two main actors, James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender as Professor X and Magneto, were brilliant, but all the supporting characters were shit. Well, not shit, but they weren't good. There were one or two that were...
the kids in it weren't that great, but when it came to the two main characters and the villain, Christ, I was actually a bit scared by the first appearance of Kevin Bacon.
I love Kevin Bacon.
With his scary, threatening yet non-threatening German accent.
Yeah. And the winner for Best Superhero Sci-Fi Movie was...
If you haven't guessed it by now, for the fact we've been mentioning it, X-Men First Class.
Yes, X-Men First Class. Then we had the Best Trade, meaning the paperback releases. The nominees were Who is Jake Ellis? Haven't read it. Walter Simonson's The Mighty Thor Artist Edition. Haven't read it. Fables Volume 15 Rose Red. And Walking Dead Volume 14 No Way Out. Haven't read any of them.
Yeah.
It's too far ahead in The Walking Dead for me. And the winner for that, it's kind of a no-brainer to be honest, is The Walking Dead Volume 14 No Way Out.
Yeah.
I had no problem seeing that this would win.
Yeah, I haven't read particularly Volume 14, I've only read up to Volume 13. Seeing what happened in Volume 13 though, I thought, well, it can only get better from there, as everyone starts losing their fragile minds.
Indeed. Alright. What did we have after that?
That was Best Limited Series or Story Arc. So the nominations there were Criminal, Last of the Innocent, Flashpoint, Superior, and The Dark Angel Saga.
From
I've only read two of them.
Uncanny X-Force. Sorry.
X-Force, yeah. I've only read two of them, and the two that I read, which were Flashpoint and Superior, were absolutely amazing stories.
Yeah, Flashpoint was great, like, main story. It wasn't the strongest of the Flashpoint series, but it was good.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Yes, and the winner?
The winner made the pair of us actually say out loud, "What the fuck?"
I think we both
It was
said it
funny
like
enough.
in
Dark Angel
chorus.
Saga.
Yes. How the hell could Uncanny X-Force win anything? It's a fucking shit series.
The problem is, it had got a lot of hype, and a lot of people have been saying that it was a good story. So, as much as it pains me to do this, next week I will read the Dark Angel Saga, the lead up to it, and the actual thing itself, and I will give a definitive review. I will try to be as unbiased as possible, but if there's too much Wolverine, I will actually throw a shit fit. It's hoping for plenty of Deadpool in it.
Then we had the Best Comic Hero. We had Batman, Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Wonder Woman. And it's a no-brainer who won. It's obviously Batman.
Yeah. He's a gold-blind Batman. What would you expect?
I couldn't become Green Lantern unless I was chosen by the Guardians of Oa, but given enough startup capital and adequate research facility, I could be Batman.
You could be Batman.
Sure, I'm Batman.
Yeah, boy!
Man.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't even know why Wonder Woman is included in that, if I'm honest.
I think it's... You know how the Oscars Academy actually, like, puts nominees in simply to give them a like, a nod of appreciation, like, you did good, therefore... Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know.
So, yeah, basically, Wonder Woman done good.
Yeah, essentially, like, you're the best woman out there. Nice.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. And who do we have next? Well, what do we have next?
Up next is the best newcomer. This one is the nominations were Justin Jordan, Nate Simpson, Sarah Pacelli, and Trad Moore.
Yes, Justin Jordan, known for... Let's see. He is known... is it... No, I don't actually know who the hell it is. Justin Jordan. Let's see. Justin Jordan comics.spot.com. He has done... I don't know. I think he's done some Superman stuff. No, he's done Luther Strode. I think he wrote Luther Strode.
Good.
Possibly. You have Nate Simpson, who has done... I don't know. I really don't know. I'm trying to find it on his webpage. And I really don't know. Beautiful artwork though. Like, really good. Trying to find it, but I don't know. Whatever. Sarah Pacelli, all, as we said, known for Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yep.
And then you had Trad Moore, who was the artist on Luther Strode. I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Yeah.
And
winner was, funny enough, Sarah Pacelli.
yeah. Her second prize. So that is 3 for Scott Snyder, with Best Writer, Best Series, and Best Hero. You have 1 for X-Men First Class, 1 for Kirkman.
Kirkman!
Then whoever wrote the Dark Angel Saga should be shot. Just kidding.
I thought it might be in Bendis.
Really?
I think it was, actually.
No. It was Remender, I think.
Oh, Amanda, right.
Yeah, pretty sure. Who is an actual good writer? It just, yeah. And then we had 2 for Sarah Pacelli. We had the best publisher, all 4 big names: Image Comics, Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and IDW.
This one was always going to be controversial regardless of who won.
Yeah, but I think that they, with reason, pulled out the best one, because the best publisher of 2011 was DC. And they deserve it with the New 52 launch, because they pulled that off very well.
Yeah, I mean, just for actually getting away with that deserves best publisher, really. Doing a whole, every single title you do being rebooted back to #1, redoing the backstory of everyone, or starting them up from the ground up again, and doing it successfully, is always a risky thing.
Indeed.
They could have pissed off so many fans, and in fact it did. They still managed to rake in all the fucking money.
Yep.
And of course, the website that we're looking at to get all this is once again, showing off the controversy by saying, man, if you're just going off money, then DC wins, but Image was better.
Mm-hmm. It's all up to personal taste and the Academy who chose the Stan Lee Awards. I don't know who chooses
It was actually voted on by people who are going to be attending.
Yeah.
I voted.
Well, wasn't the nominees were decided upon.
The nominees were decided upon, but, you know, from then, it's up to the people who were voting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright. Then you have the best TV show, with nominees like The Breaking Bad, pretty good series, Game of Thrones, really good series, Walking Dead went downhill on the second season, and Doctor Who, good series.
Yeah.
And I think we both said that this was going to be a tie. Well, it was going to be between Doctor Who and Game of Thrones.
I originally said it was going to be the other one. Then said, I guess because a lot of people here are British, they may go for Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm. I thought because, you know, it's a good series.
Yeah, it is a good series, but yeah.
I think internationally, Game of Thrones has more viewers, which is why it won.
Yeah, that, and I don't mean to sound like I'm taking the piss out of Doctor Who here, but I think the storyline is deeper in Game of Thrones
than anything else. Yeah.
Than any of the other three nominees.
Of course, Game of Thrones is aimed at adults. Doctor Who is aimed at adolescents. Sure, Walking Dead is probably aimed at a little bit older, but it's not the same as Game of Thrones at all.
Yeah, Breaking Bad and
Breaking Bad is a comedy, isn't it?
No.
Isn't it?
God, no. It's about basically the dad from Malcolm in the Middle getting cancer, becoming a really twisted drug dealer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I obviously not seen.
Jesus, what do you think it was?
Bad. I thought, like, I knew it was that, but I thought it had comedic elements in it.
I think they may have started out that way, but by the last series, Jesus Christ, it's dark.
Okay, cool. What else do we have?
I believe the other one we have.
Second to last.
Well, yeah, two we have. First one is Best Game or Toy between
All
Batman
games.
Arkham City, LA Noire, Portal 2, and Skyrim.
This was a tight one, to be honest. Like, I expected everything but LA Noire to be really close on.
Yeah, Skyrim has a lot of fanboys. Portal 2, it's Portal 2, what do you expect? And of course, Arkham Asylum will get all the comic fans in as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think that the winner deserved it.
Yeah. It was, of course, Arkham Asylum. Arkham City, rather.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yes. Of course, a lot of comic fans were voting on this, and they probably chose Batman Arkham City because it was a comic book game. And, yeah. I think that is a big part, because I don't think everyone that voted are actually gamers.
Yeah.
So a lot of people probably picked Batman Arkham City simply because it's a Batman game and not because the other games are worse. And then, last but certainly not least, you have Man or Woman of the Year, with the nominees of Jane Goldman. She did work on Kick-Ass, I think, the movie, I believe. Jim Lee, something or other at DC, and brilliant artist.
Yes, He's also the artist of Justice League at the moment.
He does brilliant art. Robert Kirkman. And Scott Snyder.
Yep, the nicest guy in comics.
Yes. And the man, because it's a man, of the year, according to the Stan Lee Awards, was Scott Snyder.
Go clap.
Yeah. Honestly, we saw Scott Snyder go up and just accept prize after prize after prize, and he was so humble about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the whole, oh, I'd like to thank my mother and my father and God. It was like, hey, I really appreciate that you voted for me. I will not take this position that I have for granted. I will always remember how horrible it is to work in a dead-end job. Just, yeah, thank you. And then he sat down.
Yeah. Thankfully, you're not doing a Halle Berry.
They didn't have to play the music.
Everyone else's.
Thankfully, they didn't have to play him off with music. Totally, I think in his first award, he told a great story about his son, who's really into pirates. Yeah. And he talked to his sons like that. He told them that he was going to possibly win an award, and his son said, "Is that like Treasure?" Like, yeah, I guess it's kind of like Treasure. Good, take it home and then we'll bury it. It's brilliant.
Yep.
Bury the award. Yeah. I'm gonna ask him if he buried one of them. So yeah, I think that most of the awards were fairly given. And yeah, there's not much more to say. That was the last panel we went to.
There were plenty of others. One or two gave particularly big news that we unfortunately missed. I think we might get to if we have time for the news, but that's everything we did.
Yes. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's time for other stuff. We may go a little bit over time, and this will be a short break. So keep it right here. You're listening to Crossover live on own3d.tv/NordiCityRadio. We'll be right back. And we're back on Crossover Live on Noticer Radio at noticerradio.com and owned3d.tv/NoticerRadio. So let's see, what else do we have to talk about tonight on this wonderful show that we
for an hour and a half.
Yeah, now that we're done with Kapow Comic Con an hour and a half later, what do we want to talk about? We have some information on The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch 2 trailers, and yeah, we're gonna watch them back to back. They're only about 30 seconds long each, so we'll go for that.
Do you think he's coming back?
I don't know.
Gotham, this is your liberation.
The city needs me. I need you to get me back in the game.
Rises.
Takes a little time to get back in the swing of things.
Rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX July 20.
It's a brazen costume for a cat burglar.
Yeah? Who are you pretending to be?
These are violent criminals that terrorize Gotham.
Bane. Born and raised in hell on earth.
You don't owe these people anymore. You've given everything.
Not everything. Not yet.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Your wife said you were taking a cab home. My wife?
Rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX July 20th.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sauteed.
Sorted. So, those were two trailers, two TV spots that have just been released. We saw a little bit more from Joseph Gordon-Levitt, as well as what is his name? Catwoman. Oh, what is her name? I really can't remember.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. Thank you.
Anne Hathaway. There we go.
All right. And yeah, it looks pretty cool actually.
Yeah, it does.
Is he still
I've
the
got to
Marvel
say
Joker?
though, I was about to say, at least these TV spots are a lot better than some of the posters they've been putting out recently. Because they just put out a new one up for the US, which people are understandably a little bit pissed at because they just took the old teaser poster, changed a tint on it, and then photoshopped in one of the stills of Batman into it.
Yeah.
Whereas the UK are getting the badass ones of each of the individual characters of it being rained on in rubble.
Yeah, isn't it rain? Just
there's rain, there's rubble mixed in with it. You see like the sort of big things.
I guess you
around the shorts and so on.
I guess you're gonna need to enlarge this full screen, 720p, and all that stuff. There we have the Bat Cycle. Lots of shots of Catwoman, and there's the this rubble and rain. It looks great, honestly.
Yeah.
The UK ones are the best.
Yeah, I think someone put on Reddit for the US poster showing how lazy the design of it is because they just showed the process in which they were able to exactly replicate it.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Oh, really?
No. Let's see. We have it there again. Don't like it at all. So yeah, but I'm really excited for this movie now. I think this might almost be possibly as good as the Avengers.
I'm sure that Hollywood is currently asking though, will it make as much money?
Yeah, probably not.
It's possible it may. It's possible it may, but it won't have the same appeal to people. It won't draw in the same audience, not quite the same.
I think something that has comedy in the trailer will get a broader audience than the drama of The Dark Knight. I think it's going to be a great movie. I think it's going to pull in a ton of money, more so than The Dark Knight. But yeah, actually might not, because Joker is such an iconic character. Everyone that knows Batman knows the Joker, but Bane?
Yeah.
And Catwoman? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Oh well. Catwoman may draw in audiences, but for different reasons to the Joker.
Yeah.
Even though people were bitching about her costume.
I don't like the costume.
God damn it, you were the fucking fashionista of this bloody show.
I mean,
all about the costumes for you.
Oh, shit. Let's go back to the thing and go to where we can see her costume. Just, you can't see this now, but the stream can. I just, they can't see you. So it doesn't matter if you mime. I don't like the yes, I'm like that. I don't like the domino mask that she has on, along with the weird cat ears.
The cat ears have been shown what they actually are. There's
Okay.
you know, in the earlier shots of her where she's got sort of a goggles sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
Well, that is like their ears flip down and they are like a sort of you know, night vision
Okay.
sort of thing.
It's still stupid.
Just stylized.
I still think it's stupid. And it doesn't look good at all. I mean, oops. Oh well. No, I don't like it.
If that's your one complaint about
No,
the
but
film,
I don't.
then
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah. I don't like that she has a domino mask. I much more want something akin to the animated series. Both the normal one and the one that came later that played beside Superman.
The Abomination.
No, not the Batman. I'm talking about the one where they changed the art style so it more resembled what Superman the animated series has.
Yeah.
Where
I
they
gotcha.
changed the costumes. Because she changed from being the having the cat suit with that was grey and stuff to a very blackish. And I want the whole headgear, something similar to what she has in Arkham City or the current comics. Don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all.
The problem is, when you get, you know, Joe Public from on the street coming to see it, and they see a woman dressed up like a friggin' cat,
Yeah.
they probably gonna think, what the hell is going on? This looks like a kid's movie.
But she's dressed up as a cat now. She has the cat ears on the back of her head.
It's a little bit more subtle than, you know, a whole sort of, you know, cowl thing looking like a cat.
Well, it's not like she wears a fucking lion skin on her head.
Yeah, I know that, but it's still,
essentially just a
I'm trying to justify this here.
Yeah, I'm arguing with you, well, against you. The series just has, well, the comics just has a skin tight cowl that has two pointy ends. That is less, well, it's more subtle than whatever this is. Just doesn't look good, man. Doesn't look good.
Oh.
Alright. Let's see. Let's move on. We have some still pictures from the Huge Shin Returns. I mean, the Dark Knight Returns. And the animated movie.
And the Batman played by Jay Leno. From the looks of it.
Yeah. Let's go back. There we go. Jay Leno.
So I get the details up for this. Tell you a little bit more about it. So this is going to be a two-parter. It's going, I believe, straight to DVD. Because, yeah, this is a long story. Part 1 will debut in autumn, and I refuse to call it fucking fall, Americans. And part 2 is going to be arriving in early 2013. It's going to have Peter Weller from RoboCop as the voice of Batman. I can see it happening. It could work.
Yeah, it could work. It's not
He's
not
getting
Kevin
on.
Conroy, but it's okay.
The thing is, you don't want Kevin Conroy because you want a sort of crusty old Batman for this one.
And you don't think that Kevin Conroy could do an old crusty voice?
I think it would sound a bit too weird having Kevin Conroy doing the a sort of crustier old Batman, because that would just sound like, "Hey kids, off my lawn." Peter Weller has, I'd say it's a better old Batman voice, marginally so.
Okay, if you say so. You
I'm just saying.
twit. And
Word is twat. I'll have you know.
So yeah, but that is based on the series. I can't remember who wrote it. Was it Mark Miller? Where Batman is really old and takes on the girl Robin.
It was Frank Miller.
It was Frank Miller. Okay.
Yes, it's Frank Miller, the crusty old bastard who, thinks that all Muslims are evil and whores should roam the streets. Majestically.
Majestically. Nice.
Moving in herds.
Mm-hmm.
As if they don't already.
No.
Judging by his Sin City stuff, so I'm assuming they do.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so that's that. Let's move into some back catalogue with a little help from our friend, the Captain.
Lucky she's young. Work your way through my back catalog when we hear till the sun explodes.
Yes. I almost died. So yeah, back catalogue. You want me to start, or should you start?
You go first.
Alright, so I started watching the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon this weekend because I've been talking about it a lot, and it was something that I was really looking forward to because I really enjoyed the original Spider-Man animated series as well as Spider-Man Unlimited and the Spectacular Spider-Man that just came out a few years ago. And Spider-Man is really my thing. Now, I'm not a big fan of this. I honestly don't like it at all. I think it's not worth checking out one bit. And there are a few reasons for this. The first is that it doesn't feel Spider-Man enough. He's...
Right.
Like, from the get-go, he is involved with S.H.I.E.L.D. Not like working for S.H.I.E.L.D., but S.H.I.E.L.D. is there, and Nick Fury and stuff, which doesn't have the voice of Samuel L. Jackson. It makes it weird. But I think from the second episode, he starts working with like this team that is White Tiger, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, well, Power Man and Iron Fist, and Nova. They're all teenagers.
Is this a new attempt at the Super Friends?
I don't know, but kinda. And essentially, like they pretty much hate each other, especially Nova and Spider-Man, because they both want to be leaders of the team, and Spider-Man is essentially appointed leader because he has a year's experience while they have none. And the problem is that, and I've said this before, Spider-Man is not about teaming up and taking down big baddies. It's about him doing his thing and taking down big baddies. He's not supposed to team up all the time. And they push this team into the series so much that it feels more or less like it's a team series. And we've had those. We have Young Justice, we've had Justice League, we've had Super Friends and all that. And team series works great. It's awesome. But they completely forget about telling us about the rest of the team, basically. And it just doesn't... So it falls just short of being a team story. But it's too much of a team to be a solo story.
So this is basically the same as... Well, same problem that Batman the Brave and the Bold suffered.
Okay. I didn't see
wherein
that.
It's basically, okay, the focus is all on Batman. However, every episode he has to team up with at least two members of, the Justice League or other heroes in DC.
Mm-hmm.
Just to basically, carry them.
Yeah.
And you never hear very much about them, just that, they're there, they do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're superheroes, and they have a bit of backstory that you're not going to find out.
But that's different heroes just about every episode, or at least every few episodes.
It's a standing cast for Spider-Man, which is the one difference.
And it's the major problem that you have all these characters that, like, you have Danny Rand, who is supposed to be a monk, he did train with the Lao whatever, but he's like 16 or whatever, and talks in this like really dude voice, like a monk probably should. Like he's probably a good monk character, but he's very young and has long hair, which makes him sound like he's a surfer.
Okay, so yeah, they made Danny Rand into a stoner, basically.
He's basically a California surfer, like radical, and patience is a virtue. Well, that's probably too gritty. Patience is a virtue.
Right there.
It's just it just doesn't feel right at all.
What's the opposite of opposite, man?
And like, yeah, Power Man, who has a very little personality overall. White Tiger, who is a strong black woman, therefore she has to hate everyone else. You know, it's not very great. Like, you have all these characters. Oh, and Nova, who for some reason has a rivalry with Spider-Man. Like, normally you're supposed to sort of love-hate the characters that are rivals. Like, there's supposed to be some redeeming quality to them so that you don't hate them. I feel nothing for no character in this series, not even Spider-Man. And the reason I don't feel anything for Spider-Man in this series, which is my major problem, is that they break the fourth wall so often that Deadpool would be ashamed. It is every second. You know how Scrubs has the weird thought sequences that they have a couple of times every episode?
Well,
imagine if you had those, but instead of like being his inner monologue that he talks to himself and then it's his weird thoughts, imagine if he talked every time to you, the viewer, and every time...
Are they trying to make him into Deadpool?
And essentially, it's every 5 minutes. It cuts away to something like him sitting and sewing his suit because he just said that the suits doesn't make themselves, or I don't know, like him putting a bucket on Nova's head.
This sounds like they're trying to make it into Deadpool, but bastardizing the bloody thing.
Yeah. And third problem with this show, they bastardized Venom.
Really?
Yes. Fourth episode, they bring in Venom. Fourth. Like, before that, they've had the Fearsome Four with essentially characters you've never heard of. This is basically Beware the Batman, where they bring in characters no one has heard of.
Right.
Like, Living Laser is in an episode. I think
that is
an Iron Man
hipster
villain.
character right there. He is popular. He's never been popular, and that's because no one gives a shit.
And he's an Iron Man villain, so they use that to bring in Iron Man and have the Iron Spider suit from Civil War. But
in the first few freaking episodes.
Yeah, it's in the first 7 episodes. I think it's like the 7th or 6th episode. They bring in Iron Man
that's hella retarded.
Iron Spider, and then he loses the Iron Spider suit and you never see it again. But Venom is like essentially Dr. Octopus sends a robot after him and draws some of his blood, which they then distill into Venom. Yeah. And then the symbiote gets loose and pretty much binds with everyone, and then tries to bind with Spider-Man, and then it's over. It's none of the, oh cool, I'm wearing the black suit, it gives me superpowers over the superpowers I have, it's really convenient, oh it makes me angry. No. 20 minutes after they introduce Venom, dead. And then they bring him back because, you know, that's what they do. Like a little smudge. And guess who's in the Venom suit? Because it's not Eddie Brock.
Is it going to be Flash Thompson?
It's not Flash Thompson. Flash Thompson is a chump in this. Well, a jock chump. A little bit.
Don't tell us Matt Gargan.
Nope. A little bit closer to home.
And B?
Okay, not that close to home, but it's getting warmer. It's getting warmer, but not really.
Gwen Stacy.
Harry Osborn.
Right.
Because, no! You don't do that! You don't make Venom Harry Osborn and then kill the symbiote after an episode.
I have never given a toss about Venom as a character, but this is making me actually a little bit pissed off.
Because it's a really bad fucking move.
Yeah.
I just want to say that we are currently overtime, which we shouldn't be. We're going to continue the show, but I want to implore every listener to go to nordelcradio.com and listen to the random encounter instead of this, and then you can catch this on YouTube.
Yeah,
because
catch the archive.
Yeah, because the random encounter, you can't be caught on YouTube.
Not at all.
Alright. So, Ultimate Spider-Man, out of 10, gets a 2.
Alright.
It's all over the place with the breaking the fourth wall. They bastardize Venom to the point, because I like the symbiote. I like the potential of the symbiote and Carnage and Venom and all that. Rick Remender's Venom is brilliant right now in the comics. The Venom from Ultimate Comics, the Venom from Spectacular Spider-Man, the Venom from Spider-Man the Animated Series, brilliant. This is shit. Distilled shit. Okay, rant over. Ultimate Spider-Man sucks.
Fair enough.
Alright, how about you talk some now? Because I've been talking a while.
Okay, I'm going to breeze through the stuff I've read that isn't DC. So, first of all, is Deadpool number 55. Thank Christ I got the Deadpool crazy back. He may not have his healing factor, but at least he's still as crazy. So I'm going to say on that one. Mighty Thor number 14. Nightmares Abound. Yeah. Everyone in a shared dream. It makes everything weird. Very weird. And, yeah. What's his name? Donald Blake, the Doctor? I think it's going shit for him right now.
Who?
Donald Blake, you know, the guy who was originally, you know, half of him was Thor, half of him was Donald Blake, and, you know, he could turn into Thor. Yeah, that guy.
I forgot that Thor had an alter ego.
Yeah, that was fucking decades ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things are going shit for him right now. I'm not going to say how, but yeah, he can't go up from there. Really can't. But yeah, I'm going to keep on reading this because it's going in a good direction, actually. Better than Journey into Mystery at the moment. Ultimate X-Men number 12. Yeah, basically just a method of reintroducing Havoc and bringing back another baddie who everyone thought was dead. Probably should have stayed dead, but yeah, he's back. Like I say who, because that's a massive fucking spoiler right there.
Okay.
Is to say the bit in the insane asylum in this, which is pretty much half of it, I could take or leave.
Okay.
And the other one I'm going to mention is Irredeemable. That series has just come to an end this week. So I breezed through the entire thing, because I've only got up to volume 3. And it is a fantastically twisted story. So twisted at so many points.
I have volume 1 on my shelf. I remember not really liking it.
Yeah, by the time
on the other
it's
hand,
got to...
I didn't like Romulan Cola, so... Well, Romulan Ale.
Romulan Ale. So you have your own particular kind of taste.
Yeah.
But the bit where he catches up with one of his former foster families... and comes up with the worst form of death imaginable for one member of them. I can't spoil it because it's about 2 or 3 years old now. Basically, they were so terrified by him. Well, the 2 fully functioning members of the family that remained, they were so terrified for him that they didn't speak for 20 years out of fear of him coming back to get them.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Basically, when he was a kid, his foster parents had another child because they weren't aware that they could still have children. And he ended up accidentally squeezing the kid too hard, giving it learning disabilities. Very, very mentally disabled. And decides, as punishment for them loving that kid more than him, he vaporizes them and leaves the poor bastard to starve to death. Which is so twisted.
Yeah. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. The ending of this was very satisfying, though. It comes around in a massive circle in a way that I didn't expect.
Okay.
Kudos to Mark Wade, right there. And before I go on to DC stuff, is there anything else that you want to mention?
No, go you, and I'll finish this off.
Alright then. In all DC stuff, I've been reading All-Star Western #9, finishing off the current story arc right there, somehow tying it back to the Night of the Owls, very loosely, because one of the Titans gets the baddie. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And finishing off the little mini story arc with Nighthawk and Cinnamon, hopefully forever. Hopefully they don't come up again. Yep. Aquaman #9 changes the dynamic between Aquaman and Black Manta forever, really.
Oh, really?
Explains perfectly why, in such a short amount of time, Black Manta is that hateful towards Aquaman.
This ties into what I'm going to be talking about later.
Yeah,
go on.
It's a good thing. Batman the Dark Knight #9, I could take or leave. This basically just gave a little bit more backstory to one of the Talons, but also shows they are actually still, fully functioning human beings, rather than just mindless killing machines.
Okay.
But, yeah, The Dark Knight is still the very weakest story that Batman's telling right now. However, Batman Inc. #1 is the bloody weirdest. It's Grant Morrison.
Yep.
There you go. I'm sure the people who have been on Reddit or anything have seen the particular panel from this one showing Robin signing beside a liberated cow saying, "From now on I'm a vegetarian and this is Bat Cow."
Yeah, I think that is brilliant.
Why is that a thing? But yes, it's thankfully getting the rest of the Batmen up. Nice little nod between the Argentinian and the English Batman going on right there, which I quite loved. But thankfully they seem to have reined in Grant Morrison's crazy. You don't have to have read the previous Batman Inc. stories to get this.
Okay, that's good.
It's really good.
Nice.
Yep. And the Goat Boy is not as shit as I was expecting.
Wait, Goat Boy?
The villain of this.
Oh.
There's an assassin in this called Goat Boy. And explains why he's called that and how he hated that he decided to call himself that. Because he was stoned and drunk at the time.
Nice, nice.
It's like the most in-joke of in-jokes, and he despises the fact that he's now stuck with that moniker. Flash #9. Yeah.
Flash #9.
Flash #9 was, Gorilla Grodd in this for one issue and one issue only, really. It's setting him up as a villain, but I don't think he's going to pop up again for a while.
Okay.
Also introduces the Pied Piper again. And, yeah, he's got an interesting story now.
Okay.
It's going to change up when he eventually appears in the Rogues bit. That's going to make things a bit bothersome for the Flash. It's set up for Weather Wizard as well. So, yay for the kind of shitty rogues.
The rogues were awesome.
Green Lantern New Guardians number 9. Green Lantern New Guardians number 9 is... It kind of links into Blue Beetle a little bit. Because you know the baddies who give him that suit, they're the ones invading the Blue Lantern homeworld. And, yeah, Saint Walker is being a badass, weirdly. Never thought I'd say the day.
Mm-hmm.
Still not as good as any of the other Lantern titles at the moment. I never thought I'd say that about the friggin' Red Lantern one. But finally, Justice League Dark number 9. I really don't care for Adam Bennett from My Vampire being in the story, but thank they've moved on from that story arc, that crossover. Felix Faust is actually kind of a villain now, like a tolerable villain. And this is the part where I raise my hand to the sky and cry hallelujah. John Constantine is officially the leader of the group now.
Nice.
Yes,
British
he's
badass.
the one who leads them in this. Yes, most badass Brit in comics.
Right after Judge Dredd.
He's actually American, Judge Dredd.
Is he?
The character. Yeah, he's in the American Mega City 1. Just printed in England for some reason.
Okay. Well, it makes sense. Mark Miller and all does that as well. Alright. Is that it?
That's it for me. Anything else you'll mention?
Yes. I've been watching more cartoons because I am 9 years old. And I've been watching Young Justice. Young Justice.
Young Justice.
Young Justice, who started second season a few weeks ago, and it's very good. Like I'm going to spoil the end of the second season, but by all means, the end of the first season. But by all means, you should definitely watch it still because it's a really good series. Essentially, as spoiler-free as you can get, Vandal Savage takes mind control over every single hero in the Justice League, and the team, because the Young Justice team doesn't have a name, so the team basically frees them, and the entire Watchtower and all that fights back Vandal Savage. And there's this bit at the end where they say like, oh, we have had everyone tracked during this time except for these 4, which are Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter, who disappear for 16 hours. And what they do, we don't know. And then the second season starts, and it's a time jump 5 years into the future.
Right.
Which is kind of cool, because then people have moved on. We have 2 members of the team that have moved on and become Justice League members. We have 3 members that have just quit the team. One of which quit under pretty harsh circumstances. Why, we don't know yet. We know that the relationship that was between Miss Martian and Superboy is no more, but we don't know why. And there's a new Robin. We have Nightwing as the leader of the team instead of Aquaman.
Please tell me it's Damian Wayne is Robin.
It's Tim Drake as Robin.
Oh, well, that's alright then.
Like,
that's not Jason Todd.
No, I don't think Jason Todd exists in any animated universe, to be honest.
Is that unliked?
Yeah, he just has a very weird story to tell in a kids show. Like death on screen is kind of hard to tell.
Well, and he's all like, yeah, I'm a druggy kid off the streets and I steal hubcaps. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, well, they could do something with that. He kind of did that with Tim Drake in the animated series. But yeah, so they bring in the new Robin, and they have Nightwing, and a bunch of new members to the team. You have Lagoon Boy.
Is that lagoon or legume? Because legume means fruit in French, and that would be weird.
Lagoon.
Lagoon, okay.
Lagoon Boy, who is apparently from Atlantis, but looks nothing like the other Atlanteans. You have Blue Beetle, who in this universe is, well, stuck to the beetle that was apparently invented by Ted Kord, who is now dead.
Right.
So that's how they treat that. So it's Jamie Reyes, and at times he has conversations with the scarab or whatever, the beetle, because it's an artificial intelligence, so it talks to him, but no one else can hear it. So he has these hilarious conversations with himself, where it's like he says something like, "Oh, we let him slip away," and then he turns to his shoulder and goes like, "No, it wouldn't have been preferable to vaporize him in the coffee shop."
So it's basically just like the current Blue Beetle, only without the alien aspect.
Yeah. You also have...
That's fair enough then.
Let's see. You have more characters, I'm sure of it. Wonder Girl and Batgirl. I think that's it.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's just... I know there's more to be told in the, like, the first season was like 26 episodes, and we're only like 7 or 8 episodes in the first, so there's a lot of story to be told, and there's a lot of stuff we don't know. I want to find out why Superboy and Miss Martian broke up, because that seems to have been quite hostile. I want to know what happened to Speedy, because that's a big plot point.
Maybe, just maybe.
No,
and I'm hoping this is actually the case. He went through the fall of Arsenal, got crazy on heroin,
actually,
beat someone to death with a cat.
Actually, spoiler alert for the first season. Towards the end, you find out that Roy Harper has been a clone for like many years. With programmed to strive to join the Justice League, and when he finally joins the Justice League, he betrays them, sort of, without knowing it. And now he's on this mission to find the original Speedy. But basically, he's kind of fall of Arsenal-ish now.
That's alright.
I don't think they have drugs in it, because, you know, it's aimed at children. Well,
they probably be like, you know, oh, he was drinking that alcohol. You best stay away from alcohol, kids, because that's what happens.
They pretty much have him look like he's a druggie, but talk about it like he hasn't slept for days.
Right.
Like
that's why you have a bedtime, kids.
Yeah, sort of. And just there's a bunch of stuff. It's such a deep series, and it's really worth watching. Like if you've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender and you're amazed at how deep and rich that story is, like, it's very adult for children, which is a good thing. Like it caters to both, and I love this series. I think it's probably one of the best cartoons I've seen. Definitely worth checking out. So yeah, that's the ramble about that. Let's see, we also have a webcomic spotlight to do before we can go off. And I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah. The best.
So, our webcomic spotlight for this week I feel like I'm talking a lot here, but I chose this, so it's mine. The webcomic spotlight for this week is Jim Benton's comics, which you can find at jimbenton.com, and it's really simple comics, like something you'd expect out of a newspaper. Very, very simple and artistic art style, and it's just, yeah, don't really know what to say about it. It deals with strange ordinary life, like how much bug poop is there in wine? Just a question that's asked in one of the comics. Or like comic strips about zombies talking to each other and like wanting peace and stuff. It's just really weird. Or how a child imagines French kissing. I think that is the best thing.
There is a lot of, as you go further through it, it gets very, very cynical.
Yeah, I think the older it is, the more cynical he was. There's a great one, like stages of aging, where eventually, if you live long enough, you become an elephant. And it's just brilliant. You can find that at jimbenton.com. jimbenton.com. So yeah, think that's it for our show.
Yeah.
And I don't know, do you have anything to say?
I currently have nothing to plug really, apart from, as I said, any artists out there who want to get something done, comics wise, can't think of anything to write, look for this, wherever it is, Twitter, and message me with saying it's up.
Yeah.
Then message me saying, hey twat hat, and I'll know what you're on about. Yep. What about you?
I'm just gonna plug my YouTube channel and say that I'm going to be uploading stuff soon. And I think that's it for our show. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was slightly entertaining at least. You know, at least a little bit.
Just know that much.
And it's time for us to say goodbye.
Adios.
See you in a week.